And so the net result, they gained 1 pound. And so here's what we can draw from this. Stop volunteering for sleep studies. Coach Greg, in today's video, we're going to find out how to actually lose enough body fat in order to see your abdominals. And to do so, we're going to go over 5 expert opinions, PhDs, and so on. And they're being interviewed by Jeremy Etier. And so if you want to learn the right versus wrong ways to lose body fat in order to see your abs, well, this is the video for you.
Anyone can start doing today to lose belly fat. For the first and most important step.
And the first expert, Lay Norton, of which I watch a lot of, he says you can't spot reduce. And so no matter how hard you try, you can't target specifically the fat covering your abs. And so to get abs, you simply have to be in a calorie deficit and continue dropping fat until you can see them. And unfortunately, oftentimes the stomach is the last place to go. And so it's not that fat in your stomach is hard to lose, it's just that it's the last place to go. Next up, Alan Aragon says, here's the problem. People are not eating their favorite foods when they diet. And so here's what you're going to do. You pick out your 20 most favorite foods, the ones that you really enjoy from all of the various food groups. Of course, making sure you get fruits, vegetables, protein, fats, and so on. And because you love these foods, you're not going to feel like you're on a diet. And so the problem is that you get any of my freaking cookbooks with delicious, high-quality recipes, tons of protein and fiber for the big eater. You take all your favorite foods, you make them tasty, and you won't feel like you're going on a diet. So one of the biggest problems with diets is people are hungry or they're having certain cravings and they can't eat the foods that they love. But if you make sure you love what you're eating and you eat a lot of it, how could you possibly go wrong? Interested in my cookbook, of course, click the link in the description, code Greg, 10% off. And so, yeah, I'm looking at all those favorites, and I don't see anywhere on there pizza, cookies, ice cream, garlic fingers. The list goes on and on. And so how many people, raise your hand, in your top 20 foods are going to choose protein powders, chicken breast, avocados, carrots, cauliflowers, green beans, strawberries, bananas, apples, milk, Greek yogurt, oats, popcorn bread? Probably not many. And so if these are actually your favorites, probably you're going to die. It's going to be easy. But it's not. But if you pick up my freaking cookbook, you can make those delicious recipes fit into your meal plan.
And there's your diet, man. There's your diet. Oh wait, we have two more foods left to get those 20 foods. Choose your 2 favorite YOLO foods, your 2 favorite desserts or whatever. Or what, you like wine? Okay, wine and freaking cookies or something.
2. You could have 2 favorite foods in there that you actually want. Let's be honest, those last 2, you wanted 20 of those. Let's be honest, you did. So keep your eyes on the prize and pick up my friggin' cookbook.
Protein intake, adequate protein is crucial. Among the macronutrients, it helps you preserve muscle mass. It's the most potent.
And of course, you want your diet to be high in protein because protein has the highest thermic effect. You burn off approximately 30% of the calories you get from protein just in the digestion process. And so if you had 2 people, one's eating, say, 1,000 calories of protein, the other eating 1,000 calories of fat, the one eating protein's actually going to lose more weight because they're burning off more calories just digesting the protein in comparison to the fat. Did you know that? And on top of that, protein's more satiating. What that means, it makes you feel more full. Just think of it. When you grab a plate of chicken breast and there's 10 on there, do you sit there and eat all the chicken breast till it's gone, all 10 of them? In comparison, when you grab a bag of chips and you have 1 chip, do you just put the bag down or do you eat the entire thing? Same applies to ice cream, cookies, all those delicious, highly palatable foods. And so if you just stick to eating mostly protein, dieting becomes much easier. And so in case you're wondering, the body both has subcutaneous fat and visceral fat. Subcutaneous means under the skin. Sub-Q. Just think of the Q as meaning the skin. Sub-skin fat. You can pinch it. It's right there. It jiggles around. You flop around, you see it move. Visceral fat, it's hidden more underneath. You have both kinds of fat. Some people have more visceral fat. Some people have more subcutaneous. But regardless of that, does that even matter? Well, visceral fat is more dangerous, so kinda yeah. But if you're trying to show your abs, you have to continue to get leaner until you can actually see them. And for most guys, probably going to have somewhat visible abs, somewhere around 20%. Certainly at 15, for the most part, most guys are going to see their abs. And if you get down anywhere from 10 to 12, you are definitely going to see a lot of abs. Maybe not shredded the way a bodybuilder has with veins running through them, but do you really need that? Of course you don't. And so although this video is to help you to try to see your abs, I don't suggest you diet to single-digit body fat.
To explain this is Eric Trexler. Usually when people are trying to lose belly fat, they automatically think that they have to do a bunch of cardio.
I don't actually think people think this. To lose weight, I think that people know it's about being in a calorie deficit. Whether or not you do cardio, that is your choice. If you're in a deficit, whether you're doing cardio, lifting weights, whatever, you're going to lose weight. But of course, the suggestion is to do both. If you lift weights, you're going to have more muscle mass, muscle being metabolically active. It's obviously going to help you to burn off more calories. And doing cardio through movement, that's also going to burn calories. So please, of course, try to do both. But if you did have to pick one, I'm telling you, I would choose cardio. Cardio does in fact use your muscles. You're thinking, no, it doesn't. Well, when's the last time you rode your bicycle up a hill? Do you know how much quads, glutes, hamstrings, upper body you use to ride up a mountain? A lot of muscle. And so you might be thinking when you do cardio, it doesn't actually help you build muscle. Well, to an extent it can. And so please don't forget that cardio for many people, it does help them to build muscle. The problem is when people overdo cardio, they're starting to do 2 hours a day, hard cardio. If you're already lifting weights and you have a lot of muscle and you add in hours and hours cardio, of course your muscles are going to get smaller. You're overtraining. But if you're a couch potato, you're sedentary, you're not doing anything, and you suddenly start riding bikes up a hill, of course your legs are going to build muscle.
Energy expenditure has a tendency to go down during a fat loss phase. But non-exercise activity thermogenesis is another really key thing that can change during a fat loss phase.
And so that's a huge problem. When you go on a diet, your need non-exercise activity thermogenesis, it goes down. The fidgeting, bobbing your head, dance around, moving around as if you have energy, it goes down. You get tired, your body's trying to conserve energy. And so consider this example. You're walking 10,000 steps a day. That's not bad. It's certainly way more than the average person. You then go on a diet to lose weight, and instead of walking 10,000, now you're only walking 8,000. The result of this is you're burning off fewer calories. You're not taking as many steps. But if you add in cardio, perhaps swimming or bike riding, you're going to make up for the decline in calories burned from not walking as much. And oftentimes people say exercise, it's not the solution. It's not the answer. I in fact say the opposite. But the reasoning is this. If you look at how many calories people are burning off for the most part, the majority are coming from your BMR. That's how many calories your body burns at rest. And the second most calories is from NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. That's from just walking around, fidgeting, dancing, just going about your normal day. And oftentimes in third place, the thermic effect of food, the calories you're burning from digesting the foods that you're actually eating. And in last place, a small percentage is the exercise. And so exercise, it's not a big deal now, is it? Point, that's the problem. You're not doing enough exercise. Exercise shouldn't be in last place. Exercise should be in second place. Imagine if every day you did physical exercise and it was the second biggest calorie burner of the day. If that were the case, do you know how much the world would change? The rates of obesity would drop dramatically. It would be mind-blowing. It'd be like hundreds and thousands of years ago when people were active all day long. Do you think hundreds of years ago, close to 40% of America was overweight and or obese? Of course not. And the reason for that is we don't move around enough. We sit around all day. And you know what can help prevent the decline in your need and also increase the calorie expenditure of your exercise? Taking GO2 max. And don't just take my word for it. Double-blind, placebo-controlled human studies. That's right, humans, not in mice, not the placebo effect. 50% improvement in walking test scores from just taking NMN. And so think of it. You have more energy. What do you think you're going to do? Are you going to lay down on the couch all day watching Netflix? Or are you going to go out and explore the world? You have more energy. Oh, let's go for a walk. Instead of going 10 minutes and turning back and saying, I'm tired, you have more energy, you keep going. You burn more calories, you become a better butter burner. You're going longer, faster than last time, and recovering more. And once you've finished the exercise, guess what? You still feel good. And so the typical person walking, say, 10,000 steps a day, and they add in some cardio. Say it's 30 minutes of bike riding. They do 30 minutes of bike riding. Guess what happens to the 10,000 steps? It goes down to 5,000. Why? Because they're tired. I don't want to go for a walk. I just rode my bike for 30 minutes. But not with GO2 max. You have more energy. And so rather than your NEAT going down, it might even go up. You burn more calories in less length of time. And so why do you think GO2 max can help you to lose weight?
For some people, it's even just purely behavioral. We might just say, hey, use the stairs instead of the elevator and park at the back of the parking lot instead of the front. So everything that gets you moving counts.
And everything that gets you moving counts. And don't you think that NMN, the main ingredient in GO2 max, can do that? Well, consider this. The FDA's recently banned it on Amazon. Can't sell it. They want to label it as a drug. They want pharmaceutical companies to sell it through prescription only. But it's not a drug. It's in food. It's put in a pill, similar to creatine. And so it's not a drug. It's not even banned by WADA. You can use it in the Olympics, the UFC. It's not even on WADA's watch list. It's not a drug. And so please head over to my website. You can buy it in bulk. Remember, it's not on Amazon, but you can get it on my website. Code Greg, 10% off.
There's an often overlooked variable that can still prevent you from losing belly fat. To explain this study is Bill Campbell.
But this new study was very unique in that it was the first ever investigation to assess a lack of sleep and how it affects where body fat is stored.
And newsflash, if you go from sleeping 7.5 hours a day to 4 hours a day for 2 weeks straight, you end up eating more. And why do you think that is? You're only sleeping 4 hours a day. You're up more. And so, of course, you're going to eat more. And by how much? 300 calories. And so 300 times 14 days straight, that's 4,200 calories. And what was the weight gain? 3,500. And you're thinking, well, why was it a pound a quarter? Well, if you're up longer, you're probably moving around more. So you burn off some of those calories. And so the net result, they gained 1 pound. And so here's what we can draw from this. Stop volunteering for sleep studies. Imagine you volunteered for this study. Soon as I found out I'm in the sleep deprived group, I'm tapping out. Oh, the other group, sleep as much as you want, 9 hours a day. Eat free food, eat what you want. All right, fine. I'm in the 9-hour sleep group, I'm good. The other group, yeah, you have to suffer. You only sleep 4 hours a day for 2 weeks straight. I wouldn't even be able to survive. I'd be going insane. And so, yeah, we can conclude that if you don't sleep enough, you're probably going to eat more and gain a pound in 2 weeks. Yay, study! Thanks for being there for us. But here's the thing. If you're on a diet and you're not sleeping enough, more of the body weight that you're losing, it's actually going to come from muscle. And so you have two groups, one sleeping 5.5 hours, the other 8.5 hours. They both lose about the same amount of weight, but the group that's not sleeping as much, they're losing more muscle. And so think of it, it makes sense. If you're not sleeping, your muscles aren't repairing, and so they're not growing as much. And so you have to get in your sleep. I've oftentimes been quoted saying, I would choose a sleep aid over a fat burner any day of the week when I'm on a diet. You're thinking, oh, that's crazy. It doesn't make sense. Of course it does. If you're sleeping, you can't be eating. And while you're sleeping, your muscles are recovering and repairing themselves, growing bigger and stronger than last time. And so if you're on a diet, not sleeping enough, perhaps drinking too much caffeine, coffee, and so on, and you're not sleeping enough, your body's not repairing, you're going to lose muscle. And in case you didn't know, of course, we have Delta Sleep, highly effective formula, help you to get more sleep than last time. Code Greg, 10% off.
This is why so many people start out strong, yet never end up successfully losing their belly fat. Lauren Conlon, a master coach, will help explain what this missing piece is.
First, it's important to recognize that unless genetically you have little body fat on your abs and core area, that you will probably need to get leaner than you'd think to lose belly fat.
The problem is for many people, because of your genetics, the stomach is the last place the fat is going to come from. And so the key is to be consistent and to keep going. But remember, if you crash diet, cut calories too low, you're not going to have as much energy. Your testosterone levels are going to fall. You'll have brain fog. You're going to be overly hungry, starving, suffer from insomnia and so on. And you'll eventually lose your willpower and go off your diet. And of course, be patient. It's not going to happen overnight. Despite all the before and after transformations, people saying, oh, wow, I lost 100 pounds in 3 months and so on. It's just not going to happen. The slower you lose the weight, the more likely you are to lose the weight and keep it off for the rest of your life. Of course, my number one supplement I'd recommend is GO2 Max for the reasons explained. More likely to burn off more calories through NEAT, as well as become a better butter burner. That means you burn more calories in less length of time. Interested in GO2 Max or my cookbooks, all the various supplements, clothing line, and so on, head over to my website right now, code Greg, 10% off. Also, we do have supplements on Amazon. Not GO2 Max, of course not, but many of the others, you can in fact get it on Amazon. And so click whatever link you want, use code Greg on my website, or get it on Amazon. Ending it here. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment for the algorithm. Please watch one of the bloops. Follow me on the gram, Greg Doucette IB Pro. And of course, all these supplements, cookbook, training books, coaching plans by me and my team, the Circle Diet book, the clothing line, everything, head on our website, code Greg, 10% off, or at least try it on Amazon. And until next time, I am out.